Have you ever woken up in the dead of night between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. with no alarm, no reason, just awake? Some say it's restlessness, others blame stress. But what if I told you it's something far greater? This hour, this sacred window is not random. It is a calling, a divine whisper in the silence of the night, a moment where heaven and earth feel just a little closer. And in this moment you are given a choice: go back to sleep or wake up to something greater. So if you find yourself awake at this hour, don't waste it. Do these three things. Number one, the spiritual awakening hour. Have you ever woken up in the dead of night between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. with no reason at all? Your eyes open, the world around you is still, and an unexplainable awareness settles in your spirit. No alarm clock jolted you from your sleep. No sudden noise disturbed your rest. And yet, there you are, lying awake in the darkness, feeling something deep, something stirring. Some dismiss it as a fluke, a restless night, a troubled mind. Others blame stress, anxiety, or an overactive brain processing the events of the day. But what if it is more than that? What if waking up at this hour is not an accident, but an invitation? What if, in the stillness of the night, you are being called? There is something sacred about these hours. In the daytime, life moves fast. Distractions are everywhere. The noise of the world is relentless. But in the silence of the early morning, before the sun rises and the demands of the day begin, there exists a moment where heaven and earth seem closer, where time itself feels different, where the soul can finally hear what is so often drowned out. For centuries, people have recognized this hour as significant. In Scripture, we find that it was during the night watches that men and women of faith cried out in prayer, seeking guidance, seeking answers, seeking strength. It was in the solitude of these moments that prophets received visions, that revelations were given, that hearts were stirred toward a greater purpose. Even now, across different cultures and traditions, this window of time is regarded as a spiritual awakening hour, a time when the supernatural is more active, when the mind is more open, when the soul is more receptive to divine whispers. Why is it that so many awaken during this time? Could it be that something within is longing to be heard? The mind, free from the noise of the day, finally has space to reflect. The burdens carried in the daylight hours become clearer in the night. Fears, doubts, questions, everything that has been suppressed begins to surface. And in that moment, in the darkness, we have a choice. Most people, when they wake up at this hour, do one of two things. They either fight to go back to sleep, or they reach for their phone, scrolling mindlessly to fill the silence. But what if, instead of trying to escape this moment, you embraced it? What if this awakening is not a disturbance, but a gift? There is something about this hour that demands attention. This is the time when thoughts are the clearest, when the spirit is most sensitive. It is in these moments that people suddenly remember things long forgotten, dreams once abandoned, passions left unexplored, mistakes that need to be made right. It is during this hour that inspiration strikes, that creative ideas emerge, that answers come out of nowhere. The mind, unhindered by the busyness of the world, begins to process what truly matters. But beyond thoughts, beyond reflection, there is something even deeper happening. The heart speaks in ways it does not during the day. There is an undeniable pull towards something greater, a sense that there is more to life than what has been seen and known. And it is in these moments that people find themselves faced with their truest selves. No distractions, no pretenses, just the raw, honest reality of their spirit. Some wake up at this hour with a sense of urgency. They feel a weight, a prompting they cannot explain. It may be a person who suddenly comes to mind, someone they haven't thought of in years but now feel compelled to reach out to. It may be a decision they have been avoiding, one they know they must finally face. It may be an overwhelming sense of gratitude, a deep appreciation for life, for another chance, for the simple fact that they are still here. Others wake up with fear. They are confronted by their anxieties, their regrets, the burdens they carry. The worries of tomorrow seem heavier in the quiet of the night. The failures of yesterday feel more real. The uncertainties of the future become unavoidable. And yet, in this moment, there is an opportunity to lay it all down, to surrender the weight, to trade fear for faith, doubt for hope, turmoil for peace. This hour is not just about being awake physically, it is about being awake spiritually. It is a reminder that life is more than routine, more than schedules, more than the endless chase for success. It is a reminder that there is something deeper at work, something unseen yet undeniable. Some call it intuition, others call it divine guidance, but whatever name it is given, the truth remains the same. This is not a meaningless moment. Across history, some of the greatest revelations, the most powerful insights, the most transformative moments have come in the stillness of the early morning hours. It is in this space that men and women have found direction when they were lost. It is in this space that battles have been fought, not with weapons, but with prayer, with surrender, with an unshakable resolve to rise and walk a new path. It is in this space that lives have been changed. And so, when you wake up in the early hours of the morning, do not dismiss it. Do not ignore the call. Be still, listen, search your heart. You may just find that this moment, this hour, is not a coincidence. It is an awakening. Number two, aligning with purpose. Purpose is not something we stumble upon by accident. It is not something handed to us wrapped in a neat little box waiting for us to open it. Purpose is something we grow into, something we discover through trial, through struggle, through moments of clarity and seasons of doubt. Yet, deep inside, every single person carries a seed of purpose, a calling, a reason for being, a path meant to be walked. Some recognize it early in life, while others spend years, even decades, searching. Some embrace it without hesitation, while others resist, afraid of what it might demand. But one truth remains: there is no fulfillment, no real peace, until we align ourselves with the purpose for which we were created. We live in a world that is constantly pulling us in different directions. Expectations, obligations, distractions, each one a force trying to shape our decisions, trying to dictate the course of our lives. From a young age, we are told what success looks like, what paths we should follow, what dreams are acceptable to chase. And so many people walk through life not in alignment with their true purpose, but in alignment with the expectations of others. They take jobs they don't love, live lives that don't fulfill them, pursue things that leave them empty. They climb ladders only to find that they were leaning against the wrong walls. Yet even in the midst of all this noise, there is a quiet voice that never fully goes away, a voice that whispers in moments of solitude, a voice that speaks through restlessness, through dissatisfaction, through that unshakable feeling that there is something more. And it is in these moments, when we wake up in the early hours of the morning, when we feel that tug on our hearts, when we recognize that something within us is out of alignment, that we are given a choice. Ignore it and continue on the path of least resistance, or pause, listen, and begin to seek the path we were meant to walk. Aligning with purpose is not about following a perfect pre-written script. It is about coming into agreement with the deepest truths of who we are. It is about shedding the false identities we have worn, the masks we have put on to please others, the roles we have played that do not reflect the calling within us. It is about asking the hard questions. Why am I here? What was I created to do? What stirs my soul in a way nothing else does? Most people do not ask these questions because they are afraid of the answers. They are afraid of what purpose might require of them, because purpose always comes with a cost. It demands growth. It demands change. It demands courage. The moment we begin to step into our purpose, we will face resistance, doubts from within, opposition from without. People may not understand. Some may even try to discourage us. But purpose is not about pleasing people. It is about fulfilling a calling. Some have known their purpose for years, but have buried it beneath fear, beneath excuses, beneath the belief that they are not qualified, not good enough, not ready. But here is the truth. Purpose is not about being ready. It is about being willing. It is about taking one step, then another, even when the path is uncertain. It is about trusting that what has been placed inside of us is there for a reason, that the gifts we have been given are meant to be used, that the dreams we carry were planted in us for a divine reason. Purpose is not always about grand gestures or world-changing missions. Sometimes purpose is found in the small things, in the quiet moments, in the ways we show up for others, in the love we give, in the lives we touch. Purpose is about alignment, not just with what we do, but with who we are, with how we live, with what we stand for. It is about being in harmony with the deeper calling